Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I am Antonia Nikolodakis, and I head up tax at PKF Octagon. And we are going to discuss the webinar. This webinar is based on the article that we issued on the 8th of April. We're just going to elaborate on the information that we shared in the article, as well as the information that we know up until this point. Please bear in mind it's a very, very live topic. It is being debated a lot, which we will discuss. Michelle will be presenting the webinar. Michelle Hawkins is an admitted attorney who recently joined PKF Octagon from SARS Tax Court Division. We are very thrilled to have her and very grateful for her taking her time to present. So Michelle, I'll hand over to you. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy.
Thank you, Antonia. A warm welcome to everybody joining us on this rainy morning in Johannesburg. Before I start off with, I would just like to say there's been a lot of developments in the Western Cape High Court pertaining to this issue last night, and we will keep you updated as it goes along. The arguments were heard by the DA and the EFF, and Judge President Bokwana indicated that judgment will be handed down either before or on the 29th of April. So because it is still an uncertain event, we are going forth with our webinar to make sure that everybody is on board and ready to take on either the VAT hike or not. We will extrapolate and collate all your questions. We will not answer it live as there's quite a lot of participants participating in the webinar, and we will then share the answers to your questions when we share the presentation. Okay, let me just share. Right. Slideshow. All right. Okay. The increase in the VAT rate. What do we need to know as a business to prepare for the changes that might take place from the 1st of May 2025? To ready your business, you first of all need to make sure that your pre-printed notices or price lists reflects the changes that will be effective from the 1st of May 2025. Please ensure that your point of sale systems are updated and that your tax invoices issued on or after the 1st of May 2025 reflects the new rate of 15.5%. It also goes towards the in-house developed software packages. For example, your Pastel, where you utilize that to determine your VAT input and output pertaining to your VAT returns. Make sure that it is programmed to cater for the change in your rate. Now, VAT centers around time of supply. VAT is triggered by the time of supply, and the time of supply is either the earlier of the invoice rendered or receipt of payment when the supply is made, whether it be goods or services. If an invoice is raised or payment is received before the 1st of May 2025, the applicable VAT rate remains at 15%. Goods and services spanning the rate change, which means starting before but ending after the 1st of May 2025, a fair and reasonable apportionment must be made. Now, this is a loaded statement, because apportionment in terms of the VAT Act, you will find in terms of Section 17, gives you a certain methodology to apply to calculate how to apportion. The determination that SARS applies is normally based on the turnover-based method. And you can reach out to any of your tax advisors who will gladly assist you in calculating that apportionment, should it be necessary. The second aspect is if the invoice and payment occurs on or after the 1st of May, the new VAT rate of 15.5% will apply. Now, SARS has issued a publication pertaining to frequently asked questions and answers, and we noted that they've provided for transitional arrangements. These arrangements are with respect to ongoing contracts, your normal contracts such as your property rentals, your construction, your cleaning, your insurance, even your subscription services, often require an advance payment at the beginning of the month. Now, the increased VAT rate applies to any payment due or received on or after the 1st of May 2025. But for these contracts, the time of supply is determined by the contract itself and not the invoice date. This is your transitional arrangement that SARS is allowing. Therefore, if your invoices are issued early for the period from 1 May 2025, you should reflect the new VAT rate on these invoices. If the invoice was for May, but was issued on the 1st of April up until the end of April, the old VAT rate will apply. Installment sale agreements and finance leases. The goods delivered before the 1st of May 2025, your old VAT rate of 15% will apply. The monthly VAT on your service fees under these agreements, such as your maintenance plan or your service plan or any other plans that you might engage in, will increase to 15.5% from the 1st of May 2025. Because it is an ongoing service and the supply is made after the 1st of May, the VAT rate of 15.5% will be applicable. In terms of commercial and residential property transactions, there's a further transitional arrangement that has been allowed. And as you know, for property sales, the VAT rate is determined by the date of registration in the deeds office or the date of payment, whichever is earlier. Just bear in mind that when you make a deposit to be held in the transferring attorney's trust account, this is not considered payment of the purchase price up until the time it becomes non-refundable. And normally when it becomes non-refundable is when the title deed has been registered in the deeds office. However, the higher rate of VAT will apply when the time of supply is triggered. Pertaining to residential property, if a written binding legal agreement is concluded before the 1st of May 2025, the lower VAT rate applies, despite the fact that there are suspensive conditions that exist. It is, however, imperative, and this is stressed, that the contract must state the VAT inclusive price. If it does not state the VAT inclusive price, it is deemed as a VAT exclusive transaction. And whenever the property is then registered in the deeds office, the time of supply will then be triggered. And if it is after the 1st of May, it will include the higher VAT rate. We now move on to the importation of goods and services. You will see that I've dealt with a couple of practical questions that we have come across further down in the slides. The transitional arrangement pertaining to the importation of goods and services is as follows. The VAT rate on imported goods, which is determined by the customs clearance date, will determine when the rate applies. In other words, if customs clear the goods on or after the 1st of May 2025, the new VAT rate applies, even if the ship docked earlier. For imported services, the VAT rate is determined by the earlier of the supplier issuing an invoice or the recipient making a payment. There are other specific types of transactions that are also affected, and this includes the supply of goods and services between connected parties, estate agent commission, and deposits made in respect of guest house accommodation. You will note, and we will share the publication from SARS that deals specifically with these issues when we share the slides with you. Now we turn to the anti-avoidance rules. Now, SARS is very specific in terms of the anti-avoidance rules because you will get people that will try to manipulate the system not to pay the higher VAT rate pertaining to the transitional arrangements. The rules that they've put in place is as follows. To prevent the early invoicing or payments from avoiding the new VAT rate, the following transactions will be taxed at 15.5%. goods supplied more than 21 days on or after the 1st of May 2025, or services performed more than 21 days on or after 1 May. Now, what this basically means is if you produce an invoice or you make a payment, but the goods or the services are only supplied or delivered 21 days after the 1st of May, it reverts to the new VAT rate of 15.5%, specifically to avoid the application of the old VAT rate when it is actually supposed to be the higher VAT rate of 15.5%. These supplies are deemed to occur at the new rate and must be included in the tax return period. However, this does not apply to residential property transactions or to normal business practices which have long lead times. There are no additional input tax that can be claimed on trading stock held at the time of the VAT increase. You will note also that I've dealt with it further on in my slides. Excuse me. Ensure that your suppliers correctly apply the VAT rate on your invoices. Do not take it for granted. If you do note that they have applied the incorrect VAT rate, you can request either a credit or debit note, depending on which one is applicable, and make sure that they issue you with a proper new invoice that reflects the correct VAT rate. That will enable you not to be caught up in any VAT audits pertaining to invoices that are not correct, and it's disallowed in terms of Section 20, subsection 4. The tax computation of input and output tax on your VAT 201 returns must contain your correct VAT rates. If you are struggling to reflect the correct percentage of VAT applicable, say, for example, you had to do an apportionment aspect, please reach out and contact us. We will be gladly to assist you. Implement the VAT increase proactively. Take steps now prior to the 1st of May 2025 to ensure that your business is prepped and ready to comply with the levying of the new VAT rate. Prices charged by vendors are deemed to include VAT. Hence, under any under-declaration of VAT would result in reduced profit margins along with very stringent penalties and interest. And that will have a massive impact on your cash flow. We go now to more practical questions that we have come across. If I receive stock that is invoiced on the 28th of April, but some of the stock was returned on the 2nd of May, is the credit note at 15% or 15.5%? As the invoice was issued prior to the 1st of May, the credit note will be the old rate of 15%. A next question that we received was, stock was invoiced but not collected on the 28th of April, but the customer cancelled the order on the 2nd of May. Is the credit note at 15% or 15.5%? As the invoice was issued prior to the 1st of May, the credit note will be at the old rate of 15%. Remember to always apply the time of supply aspect. It's either the earlier of the rendering of the invoice or the payment being made. Alternatively, look at the frequently answered questions and answers publication from SARS when there are transitional arrangements that are applicable. The third question we received was, with a direct delivery sale, the supplier physically delivered directly to the customer on the 15th of April, but we only got the proof of delivery on the 15th of May and raised the invoice on that day. The payment will follow 30 days from invoice. The time of supply rules, as I've indicated, is either the date of the invoice or the date of payment, whichever is first. Therefore, as the invoice will only be raised on the 15th of May, the new VAT rate will be applicable. However, as I've indicated, there are transitional rules that are applicable, and the general effect of these rate-specific rules is that if a transaction was entered into before the 1st of May, but delivery of the goods or performance of the services only take place before or after 1 May, the following rules apply. In case of goods, use the VAT rate that applies on the date that the goods are actually delivered or made available for collection. Just want to see. Right, now we turn to successive, periodic or continuous supplies. This is directly also from the frequently asked questions and answers from SARS publication. The VAT rate is determined based on the earlier of the date when payment is due or is received. Now, some examples include property, equipment, car rentals, and ongoing contracts for maintenance, management, insurance, subscription, or cleaning services, as I've dealt with earlier. And these supplies are typically invoiced or paid for in advance on a monthly basis. The increased rate will apply to any payment that becomes due or is received on or after the 1st of May. Progressive supplies. The VAT rate is determined based on the earliest of the date when payment is due or is received or any invoice for payment is issued. You're going to get used to this sentence because this is crucial in determining your VAT rate. Examples of progressive supplies include construction, manufacturing, assembly of goods, where the agreement provides for the purchase price to become due and payable according to the progress being made. The increased rate will apply if the earliest of any payment that becomes due or is received or any invoice is issued in respect thereof is on or after the 1st of May 2025. Installment credit agreements. This includes your installment sale agreements, your financial leases that are entered into to acquire vehicles and equipment, and the time of supply for goods and services under an installment credit agreement is the earlier of the date of delivery of the goods or when payment of any part of the purchase price is made. The increase in the VAT rate will not affect the contract price or the agreed installment amounts payable for those goods under an installment credit agreement if the actual time of supply was before the 1st of May 2025, as the output tax and input tax is accounted for upfront regardless of the vendor's accounting basis for VAT. Fixed property transactions, as was indicated, it depends on when the property is registered in the deeds office. That is the normal time of supply rule. Transitional arrangements, if a deposit is paid and held in trust by the transferring attorney, this payment will not trigger the time of supply as it is not regarded payment. Normally, the sale price of a property is paid to the seller in full by the purchaser's bank or by the purchaser's transferring attorney. Once that payment is made, your VAT will be triggered. If the seller allows the purchaser to pay the purchase price off over a period of time, the output tax and input tax of the parties is calculated by multiplying the tax fraction at the original time of supply by the amount of each subsequent payment. This goes to the heart of making sure that pre and post the 1st of May that you apply the correct VAT rates. One of the questions that we picked up as well, is there a rate-specific rule which is applicable to me if I sign the contract to buy residential property before the rate of VAT increased, but payment of the purchase price and registration will only take place on or after the 1st of May. That is the transitional rule that was allowed, in that you will pay VAT based on the rate that applied before the increase on or after 1 May 2025, and this rule specifically overrides the rule as discussed in the previous question, which applies for non-residential fixed property. Will I be able to increase the price that I charge under existing ongoing contracts concluded before the increase in the VAT rate? Contract prices agreed by the parties. Generally, the vendor may increase the contract price and recover the additional VAT from the customer under an existing contract concluded before the 1st of May, if the supplies will continue after that date. Prices set under an act or regulation If the act or regulation concerned actually sets the price and contains an exact statement that the amount may not be increased, then the price will stay the same and may not be increased. Now, VAT inclusive and VAT exclusive, when you render your invoices, you either render it VAT inclusive, which basically means it includes your 15.5%, or calculating it by multiplying the new tax fraction of 15.5 over 115.5 to determine the final purchase price. The VAT exclusive base amount will be the amount for this rendering of the goods or services, excluding your VAT rate of either 15% prior to 1 May or 15.5% after or on the 1st of May. If a transaction was entered into before the 1st of May, but delivery of the goods or performance of the services only take place on or after the 1st of May, the following rules apply. In the case of goods, use the VAT rate that applies on the date that the goods are actually delivered or made available for collection. In the case of services, use the VAT rate that applies on the date the services are physically performed or actually rendered. And please remember the anti-avoidance rules of 21 days after you have rendered your invoice or made payment. When those goods or services are delivered or rendered 21 days after you have rendered or provided your invoice or made payment, you will be charged at the higher VAT rate. Now, to deal with apportionment is a very technical aspect, as like I've indicated, SARS utilizes the turnover-based method. There are other methods applicable that can be utilized. It obviously determines fact-specific and can be applied to determine your exact rate. The supplies to which this provision applies are rental agreements, progressive or periodic supplies of goods, construction activities, because you are being paid in increments, services actually rendered over the period. And these rules do not apply to the supplies of fixed property, including residential property. So please, if you are unsure, reach out to get clarity. Goods or services. This is pertaining to the anti-avoidance rules. If goods are delivered more than 21 days on or after the 1st of May, your new VAT rate will apply. We are making sure that this is emphasized because of the uncertainty of whether or not the VAT rate will be applicable or not. Rather be safe than sorry. Rather receive a refund or have to pay in. To the extent that the services are actually rendered, your new VAT rate will apply on or after the 1st of May, 2025. That brings us to the end of our webinar. I hope and I trust that the little bit of information that we could share with you will calm your fears. Also keeping in mind that there are a lot of changes still happening in the background in terms of the legal applications, awaiting the judgment, whether or not practically it will be possible to halt the implementation of the VAT rate. Alternatively, whether or not there is a part of it that might allow SARS to provide you with rebates should that happen. Please feel free to reach out to your PKF tax advisors. We are there willing and able to assist you in any matter whatsoever. We are just as anxious to see what will happen and what will transpire. And we will share this presentation with you together with answers to the questions that we've received, as well as the publication from SARS. Hopefully, we will all be able to carry ourselves through this VAT nightmare and be able to make a decent attempt at complying with the VAT rules. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you to my colleague Antonia, who has manned the questions and answers team. And may you have a wonderful short week and a wonderful long weekend. Thank you.